Endless Hustle, presented by Merf's Condiments. Merf's Condiments is a spicy food company based in Denver, Colorado that makes healthy hot and wing sauces using all natural and fresh ingredients. If you live outside the state of Colorado, you can buy their hot sauces online at www.merfscondiments.com. All right, we've got a great day on the Endless Hustle as I'm joined by the ageless and always stunning Brooke Burke. Brooke, great to have you on the show. You've been in my life for such a long time. You've been in my life for such a long time. I'm like, here we are. I love it.
Oh, hi. Nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
So you got a ton going on. Let's start with the app. I want to kick it off there because I had Jillian Michaels on the show recently, and
nice.
See what you guys are able to do now in terms of taking this long career that you guys have built and now being able to digitally give it to people is pretty cool. So talk to me all about it.
Yeah, and she's a Malibu girl too, so I love what she's doing. It's an interesting time right now because it's a big digital world, and now being able to light an app, my app, for example, up on your smart TV and work out in your living room, life size, and create a digital gym is like saving time. It's saving money. It's made working out way easier. And if you look at what we've gone through in the last few years, when everything we know to be normal has been taken away, it's made fitness and health and wellness, I think, much, much more attainable. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about people setting realistic goals. I'm excited about people accomplishing them. I'm excited about people figuring out how to get it done at home with your partner, with your family, with your kids. We're having a lot of fun creating content in the kitchen, in the living room, on the sofa, on an office chair, using water bottles, using wine bottles, using whatever you can, and taking out the excuse and just getting it done. It's really that simple right now.
It's incredible because, and again, talking to Jillian about this, you guys, there's this group of almost the first ladies fitness, we'll call them. It started with Jane Fonda, and then a whole group sprouted from there. You were part of that group. And to see the explosion of the whole genre is mind-boggling. When did you understand that there was something there? Like, hey, there's a business here.
Well, I totally agree. And Jane Fonda, queen, right? I started dabbling in the fitness business when I was doing DVDs, just like Jillian with Sony. And it was like all these professional fitness girls in this big badass studio. And we were creating content to show people how to get into great shape. Now, for me, it's about connecting with women. We can do it on our tablets, on our phones. We can do it through social media, and inspiring and encouraging and teaching them how to get it done and how to take care of themselves for a lot of reasons that go, for me, well beyond fitness. So a little bit different than what Jillian's doing. My whole fitness program is really about, it's sort of, it's more mindful fitness. It's kind of mind, body, and spirit. So it's about personal connection, taking time for yourself, spending 5 minutes, maybe 10, maybe 30, whatever time allows. I've got programs with my children. I've got stuff my mom could do, programs with my girlfriend, programs in the kitchen while I'm making dinner that you can do on your counter, acting, the same as a bar class. So for me, being able to connect with women around the globe, being able to guide and inspire them, being able to have a community through social media to figure out what they want, what they don't like, what they want more of, has been a really incredible journey for me to be able to customize, to be able to choreograph original content every week. I teach classes in my backyard here in Mother Nature, which that was a pandemic shift. It was also a blessing because I never went out and laid on my grass under my trees in the sunlight. And I thought, who in the world would want to do that? Right? Now we are so blessed, and we never want to go back into a studio because we're getting the vitamin D, we're getting the natural dopamine, adrenaline. We've got safe space. We're outside in nature, listening to birds, smelling the grass, fresh air. It's just a different time. There's been a real shift. And now everybody's bringing fitness into their living room instead of driving to a gym and spending $35, $20. I don't know what a membership is this day, classes. I used to do it too, times 3 with my kids. You know what I mean? Right?
How does it all begin for you? How does a girl from Hartford, Connecticut end up in show business?
By accident. truly, my story pisses off a lot of people who are doing all the things right. I studied broadcast journalism, business advertising. I thought I was just going to be a CEO. I am now by accident. I auditioned for E way back when. I started modeling in Los Angeles. I had an acting scholarship out here that was really goofy and lame. I auditioned for E in the middle of getting my education in broadcast journalism, took a pivot, went to Spain to do a trial show, and kind of never looked back, and got all my training and education in the industry on set. And one of those weird circumstances, and I was doing commercials, and then auditioned for the network shows and had an opportunity to do live television, which I love. I love spontaneity. I like when things go wrong. I like the energy of a live audience. I think that's what brought me back into the fitness space, because I get to work with people in real time. I get to teach people in classes. I get to kind of lean into the realities of what's really going on. And I like things that are perfectly imperfect. I like when things are a little messy. I like dealing with real people when things don't go right. And that's kind of a whole journey, that's a whole area, I should say. That's a whole skill set there. And I love live television. I love live transformations. I love live Q&As. I like all of that. That's why I like connecting with women.
The digital age has changed everything, obviously, but put yourself back in the DVD peddling days.
Oh gosh.
Before we had the ability to connect with each other. I mean, we're doing this over Zoom. This is the world we live in. What was it like back then trying to build a brand in the fitness and health and wellness space?
It was one way, it was a one-way street. I choreographed a workout. I had a big, massive production, putting a perfectly lit product together. And you hope people were buying it on Amazon, and then I had a big career with Guthrie Ranker in the infomercial world on television, also amazing. Today, I can get on my phone and go live in my living room like a real human being, with the windblower going off in the background and the alarm, the dogs barking and the kids running down the stairs going, Mom, I need, and it's like life is happening. And it became reality television on our telephone for the world, like overnight, right? So I feel like women want that. Women want to know what I look like in the morning when I wake up. I'm doing press today, which is why I've got glam on right now, but normally my hair's in a bun and I'm in the backyard sweating it out with everybody in my community. And that's real. I'm working out in the kitchen with my daughter while dinner's in the oven, and we're going live on Instagram. And that's real because I get to have that relationship with people. And in the digital space on my app, I'm in the community answering questions. I've got other women in the community supporting other women in the community. So we get to keep it real. It keeps us honest. And I get to show people how to get it done in real life that isn't perfect. I get to talk to women and go, hey, today I didn't have any energy. I didn't feel like it, but you're here and I'm here. And we're going to take 10 minutes together. And I'm going to show you how to get it done. And it's going to be hard. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a realness that we didn't have before. This wall was broken down, and I'm super grateful for that. It's a different time.
I called you ageless at the top of the conversation. You truly are ageless. What are the secrets? How do you stay looking so young?
Well, thank you. I love hearing that, because I just turned 50, which is like, it's so weird. It's so weird to be 50. I'm also celebrating 50, and I'm making sure that I'm being kind in my inner dialogue. I do a lot of stuff. I don't want to call it quick fixes or cheating the system, but I do a lot of biohacking. I do red light stuff. I do infrared sauna. I have an incredible beamer machine not a machine, it's literally a pad that I lay on twice a day that improves circulation, gives me more energy, helps my muscles recover. Lots of things where the science behind it can be intimidating, but like when you find things that make you feel good, even though you might not feel it when you're doing it, I really believe in that kind of stuff. Supplements right now, I take C and D and zinc, that's all kind of like pandemic, suggestions, but I take a supplement called True Niagen, which is really great for cellular metabolism and repair. It helps me sleep. It's one supplement I would say if you're going to take, there's a lot of stuff out there that you have to kind of cipher through to see what's real and what's not. This is one supplement that if you're over 40, I think everyone should be taking. We're born with the ability to produce NAD, then our body stops 50% and so on and so on, and 50% of that every decade. So I won't bore you with the science, but there's certain things that you can take for energy that make you feel good. I drink a lot of water. I make a really healthy shake every day that's full of all kinds of stuff, maca, protein, MCT oil. Cut me off when I've said enough. For the hair.
No, you're living. I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, I'm gonna die in 5 years. I'm doing none of the. I've got 1 foot in the grave as I'm listening to you.
No, you know what? There's so much stuff available to us right now, and I think a big part of it is what we put in our body, right? How we treat our body. Yes, break a sweat. Yes, don't let your body become immobile. Yeah, stretch it out. Even if you don't love fitness, right? If you don't love fitness, I get it. Most people don't. Go for a walk. Go out in the sun. Get some vitamin D, grab a partner, do it with somebody. You've got to move, right? Even for people like my mom who live alone, who are sitting at home this year, get up, do some stand-ups and some sit-downs on the couch while you're watching that series. Even in the nutrition world, like keep it fresh, keep it colorful, keep it simple. It's not that hard if you simplify this whole concept of health and wellness and fitness. I'm teaching people how to do it at home. If you have 8 minutes, I'll take it. We can do it together.
I want to talk to you about eating, because as I'm getting older, I'm realizing how important, and you'd mentioned this earlier, what we put in our body is. What are some of your thoughts around eating properly, suggestions? How do we really do this thing right?
I've been intermittent fasting for years. It sounds complicated on paper. It's really not. I eat in an 8-hour window. I rest. I'm sleeping half the time for 16 hours. So you just do the math. Don't complicate this. And it gives your body time to rest. It gives your gut time to repair. And honestly, in that 8-hour window now, I kind of eat what I want to eat. I mean, I'm not like a burger and French fry person. Sometimes if I feel it, I really believe in cheating a little bit and then being disciplined most of the time. I kind of eat a Mediterranean style diet, which means olive oil, spices, flavors, fish. I eat steak. I drink wine. I just cut out this holiday season, alcohol during the week. Really hard for me. I'm doing it. I'm trying to do it 4 or 5 days a week. It's a big shift. I like to shock my body into that. But for the most part, I eat really well. And I eat a big meal for lunch. I eat a lighter meal for dinner. I intermittent fast, so I don't even have to deal with breakfast. If you think about it like that, it's kind of an easy way of approaching the day, right?
Yeah, well, I could never do it because I need to eat like every 12 minutes. So, but anytime I hear intermittent fasting, I'm like, God bless you. That's awesome.
I'll say one more thing in response to you thinking you need to eat every 12 minutes. Most of the time when we feel we're really hungry, we're dehydrated. So I can't stress enough for people to drink a ton of water, more than you think. Maybe half your body weight in ounces is a really good way of looking at it. And you'd be surprised that it's filling. And I know people don't love water. Put some lemon in there, float some cucumbers in there, put some orange slices in there. Hydrating our body can kind of trick your body into not feeling so hungry. It's a real thing.
I was telling you earlier that I'm a huge UFC fan, and I know that the UFC has had a very involved relationship in your life, both with your ex-husband, but now with your son. So tell me about your son being a UFC fan.
Well, his dad is a big UFC fan. Like there was not a UFC competition going on in my household that wasn't on every screen, even at night. And I'd be like trying to go to sleep going like, babe, do you have to put the UFC on in the bedroom? And so my son just kind of grew up around that. And he's really into fighting, actually. It's a great workout for him. And he's not like a super aggro kid, but he's really into the art of the game and the art of fighting. And I really appreciate that. I mean, a lot of people who approach UFC, and especially women that think it's just violence, I really appreciate the dance in it and the fight and the training and the mental discipline. So yeah, it's super cool. And what an incredible run they're having right now. I mean, you know, it's like the big thing right now in sports, you know, men and women, and I have great respect for it, for sure.
Yeah, I was going to actually
my son's not going to do that because he's really pretty.
You're like, honey, stay out of the octagon. You're too good looking. I actually wanted to ask you about that because they're some of the most elite athletes on the planet. I mean, you see them, just the shape that they're in, but also you touched on the mental aspect.
Yeah.
When you're at that level of sport, mentally, spiritually, and psychologically, you have to be just as elite as you are physically.
Sure.
From your standpoint, what are some of the things that need to be done, for instance, for a UFC fighter, that they can essentially raise their ability to excel in all of those areas?
I'm so glad you asked me that, because I say this a lot when I'm teaching my classes, that you have to find your inner athlete. And that's kind of a weird concept for women or somebody who's not an athlete. And I think we all have an athlete inside of us. I really do. And you have to connect the dots between the mind and the body, you know, the mind, body, spirit. And even if you're not spiritual, move on from that and know that you have to get your head in the game. So even for somebody that's used to training like an athlete, they have to get their mind in the right place. They also have to know how to recover. They have to know how to take a moment to check out, to get their head in the right space so their body can follow. I say that a lot to people when they feel depleted. Your mind will get your body there. Your body will get your head there. It's just a thing. It just happens. If you can really learn to connect those dots, I think that inner conversation is super important. I think our head, our inner dialogue gets in our way. If you think you can't do it, you've already lost the game. If you think you can do it, if you can visualize it, you know, I learned that on Dancing with the Stars, not hosting, but competing. I had to learn how to train like an athlete. I wasn't an athlete. I quickly became an athlete. That's why the athletes win. That's why they do so well. They're clutch under pressure. They know how to show up when they're scared shitless. They know how to not quit. They know how to push through their body. I mean, I had to learn how to trust my body, how to have faith in my body. And I wish that more people understood that. Whatever you're doing in your life, that faith component, the importance of that. And, you know, I train that. That's like a message that I really preach in my mindful fitness philosophy, is that you have to change the dialogue with ourselves. Our body's listening to every thought. So the mind, body, spirit, yes, they have to connect. And yes, we all have an athlete inside of us, for sure.
You'd mentioned the female aspect of the UFC, and we're obviously in this incredible age where women are getting opportunities, thank God, that they have never gotten. And we're seeing equality finally emerge. To be able to see an organization in a sport, MMA, and to see women really becoming as popular as the men, what type of role model aspect do you think that creates for younger women out there to be able to see these fighters doing what they do in the octagon?
Well, I love it. I mean, I think women are training smarter and harder and stronger than ever before. You know, I joke around sometimes and I'm like, you got to sweat like a man. Like, what does that mean? I probably shouldn't say that because you can sweat like a girl. It's very tricky. Now you can't say anything. But I like that. I like the fight. You know, I like the hustle. I want my daughter to grow up and be a badass in whatever she does. I want her to be loud. I want her to be strong. I want her to take chances. I want my girls to not grow up and be afraid to screw up. You know, I want them to be strong in their mind and strong in their body. So I love when I see a woman training like an athlete, you know, fighting the fight, not afraid to sweat, not afraid to screw up, not afraid to try to do something, developing strength. I just think it's so connected, right? And the psychologically of the development of a young woman. And we are getting stronger in every way. Like there's this evolution of the woman right now, and I'm raising 3 daughters in this time. So I celebrate it. And I love it. And I like watching women step into this age where they know that they can do anything. And, you know, it's a strange time right now. I'm raising my younger daughter in a whole new world that I didn't grow up in. My mom didn't grow up in. My 21-year-old didn't grow up in. And it requires constant communication. It really does. And shifting and flexibility.
Here's the $1 million question. One of your daughters comes over and says, Mom, I want to get in the octagon. I want to be a fighter. What's the answer to that?
Shit.
You're like, can you wear something to protect your face?
You know what's really funny is my son and I were in the car with my sister's about to go through a transformation and lose a ton of weight and get really healthy. And she said, I want to go into the MMA. And my sister's like 53, okay? And my son and I are looking at her going, I'm like, she's just kidding. And she's like, no, I'm serious. And I'm telling you, honest to God, my son, who's so sweet, he goes, Auntie Kim, I really think that you could do it. And I'm like, are you serious? And she was totally serious. She's like, I can train. I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. So, you know what? The impossible right now, like we can do anything. We can do anything, right? And I think weird is good. Get weird, be loud, be strong.
I didn't wish you congratulations. You just got engaged.
Thank
So
you.
congratulate. I was at an engagement party last night. I'm like, seeing love is always great.
I love it. I can't wrap myself yet around the engagement party. It's a whole new thing. Thank you. I appreciate it. I never thought I'd do it again. And now here I am. And it's awesome. He's amazing.
They always say the second marriage is the best one, by the way. Everyone always tells me the first one is where you learn all the bullshit. And then the second one, you're like, all right, I know what I don't want. Here's what I do want. And now I have my family usually. Let me go have the fun now.
Yeah, hopefully 3 times the charm for me. But you know what you do? I think you bring a better version of yourself. I think you learn, hopefully, along the way. I certainly did. I learned from the trials and the tribulations and the challenges and the failures, and they're not really failures because they really shaped who I am as a woman today. And I bring a very different woman, to this relationship with Scott. And I think he brings a better version of himself as well. And, we learned, and, you look back and, it's the only way to grow, and it's the only way to evolve is acceptance and what went wrong, and not repeating history and just being better. I think we all want to be better human beings, but well, I never thought I'd do it again, and here I am. So
one of the reasons that I started the show, Brooke, was to talk to successful people from all genres about the mentality that helped them achieve their success. So what are some of the habits you incorporate in your own life that allow you to continue to elevate?
I think honesty, I think really meeting myself with honesty, acceptance. I think, inner dialogue is super important, how we speak to ourselves. And I allow myself room. I probably always did. I think I was a dreamer as a young woman. I think I was really blessed to be raised by a mother who taught me to take chances and that I could do anything. But I allow myself room to dream and to set goals for myself. And I don't feel selfish about that. And I have a lot of children. I have a lot of people counting on me. So one would think there's no time for me. Women believe that there's no time for themselves when they become a mother. And I think that's really BS. And I really want to see women shift out of that. So I believe in boundaries within my household. I carve out time for myself. I teach my children by sacrificing on days when mom's got to go to work. That's how we have all this. I'm like, you like your life? How do you think this happens? Right? You have to give up on this so that we can have this. So, it's really, I think, about commitment and hustle and sacrifice. And I'm really honest with myself. I'm honest with my kids. And, it's a bummer when moms had to miss quite a lot of things in their life. I've made most of them. I've missed a lot of them because there's so many of them, but they get it. And I sort of lead by example, but I'm babbling. But to get really specific to your question, sorry, it's just honesty. It's really meeting yourself with honesty and allowance to do what you want to do. And a lot of people don't give themselves that room.
I love that answer. Meanwhile, you're like, kids, mommy's hustling. Mommy's got to put food on the table. Leave me alone.
My daughter said that the other day, my 19-year-old, and it touched me so much because you never know what sticks with your kids. We try to teach them so many things. Most of it goes in one ear and out the other. And I get that. And then you wonder as they grow up, which part of what I've tried to teach them really mattered. And she asked me the other day, and she was like, Mommy, what do you always say? What do you always say? What's that one word that you always say? And I was like, purpose. I'm all like gooey in my spirit. I'm like purpose, passion. She's like, no, you always taught me to have hustle. And it like gave me goosebumps, because I was like, damn, that's so like, that matters so much to me, because I didn't know you were listening to that. I didn't know when you were pissed that I, couldn't drive you everywhere you wanted to go, that it actually affected your life. So I love that. And I think that's really important.
Brooke, you're awesome. Thank you for a fantastic chat. Congratulations. The app is awesome.
Thank you so much.
Congrats again on the engagement. Lucky guy.
Thank you. Drink your water.
I will. It's right here. Thanks so much, Brooke.
Bye.
Take care.
You too.